Although the ancient Jedi Knights were the most notable Force users in the galaxy, they were not the only ones who learned how to use that mysterious power. On the edges of civilization, mystics sift through the forgotten lore of all Force-using traditions in hopes of discovering the secrets of many powerful figures of legend. Unlock your full potential with unlimited power. This supplement expands upon the Force and Destiny role-playing game, adding new content for mystics and other characters who desire to understand the mysteries of the Force. Walk the fine line between the light and the darkness as you master your abilities and unleash the true power in the galaxy. This is a review of Unlimited Power. Let's dive in. And here we have Unlimited Power, a source book for mystics. This was published back in 2018 by Fantasy Flight, now Edge Studios. The introduction of Unlimited Powers explains exactly what a mystic is and how they tie into the Star Wars universe. Compared to the other source books from the Age of Rebellion and Edge of the Empire line, I've gotten more value out of what's in the Force and Destiny books because it isn't always clear what those careers are, at least in the sense of being a Jedi. This is still fluffy stuff, but if you like that kind of stuff, then you'll like what's presented here. Luminous Beings is the chapter for new player content. We'll have gear, vehicles, species, and new specializations tailored to mystics. Mystics have a new morality, and we get both strengths and weaknesses, such as compassion and sorrow, caution and fear, certainty and egoism, clarity and confusion, humility and mirthlessness, discipline and coldness, wellness and rigid, pride and arrogance, modesty and vanity, joy and antipathy, fondness and demanding, and independence and obstinance. And remember, these are going to be specific towards mystics. We have three species: the Thespians, Tholothians, and Verks. The Thespians begin with a 3 in agility, a 1 in presence, and a 2 in everything else. Their wound threshold is 10 plus brawn, and their strength threshold is 8 plus willpower. They also start with 100 XP. They do begin the game with a rank in discipline, and they only need to sleep for 2 hours. Tholothians have a 2 in all characteristics. Their wound and strength threshold is 10 plus the relevant characteristic, and they do only begin with 95 XP. They also begin the game with 1 rank in Knowledge Xenology, and they are cultural adopters, meaning they automatically add an advantage whenever they make a social skill check against non-Tholothians. They also heal 1 additional strain when they are in a natural or wild setting. Verks have a 3 in presence, a 1 in cunning, and a 2 in everything else. Their wound threshold and strain threshold is 11 plus the relevant characteristic, and yet they still begin the game with 100 XP. Verks do begin the game with 1 rank in negotiation, and they are amphibious. They are also cold-blooded, so they add a setback die to all checks they make while in cold environments. Mystics have 3 additional specializations: Alchemist, Magus, and Prophet. The Mystics' career skills are Charm, Coercion, Knowledge Lore, Knowledge Outer Rim, Perception, and Vigilance. The Alchemist adds Knowledge Education, Knowledge Xenology, Medicine, and Resilience to that list. For the first tier in the Alchemist talent tree, we have Grit, so we gain +1 strength threshold. We have Stimpack Specialization. Stimpaks heal 1 additional wound per rank of Stimpak Specialization. We have Researcher. Remove a setback die per rank of Researcher from all knowledge checks. Researching a subject takes half the time. And we have Blooded. Add a boost die per rank of Blooded to all checks to resist or recover from poisons, venoms, or toxins. Reduce duration of ongoing poisons by 1 round per rank of Blooded to a minimum of 1. In the second tier, we have another rank of Researcher and another rank of Grit. But we also add Stim Application. Take the Stim Application action. Make an average medicine check. If successful, 1 engaged ally increases 1 characteristic by 1 for the remainder of the encounter and suffers 4 strain. We also have Alchemical Arts. After making a check to craft a poison or talisman, may suffer strain up to twice ranks in Alchemical Arts. For every 2 strain, add a light side pip or dark side pip to results. In the third tier, we have another rank of Stim-Pack Specialization and another rank of Blooded, but we also add Improved Blooded. As an action, make a hard resilience check to immediately recover from all poisons and side effects of drugs. Reduce difficulty once per rank of Blooded. We also add Transmogrify. When making a crafting check, may add a force die no greater than force rating, spend force pips to add a success, and spend 2 force pips to add advantage to checks. In the fourth tier, we have another rank of Grit, and we have another rank of Alchemical Arts, but we also add Knowledgeable Healing. When healing an ally, spend 1 destiny point to heal additional wounds equal to ranks in Knowledge Xenology. We also have Improved Stim Application. When performing Stim Application action, may increase difficulty of check to hard, and target only suffers 1 strain. In the fifth and final tier, we have Force Rating increase of +1. We have Dedication, so we gain +1 to a single characteristic. This cannot bring a characteristic above 6, by the way. And we have Identify Ingredients. After being exposed to a substance, as an out of a turn incidental, may roll a force die no greater than force ratings. Spend 2 force pips to immediately identify its composition and effects. We also have Improvised Concoction. Once per session, as an action, make a hard knowledge xenology check, adding a force die no greater than force rating to create 1 dose of a poison or drug with rarity of intellect plus successes plus force pip spent or lower. The Magus' additional career skills include Coercion, Discipline, Knowledge Lore, and Medicine. For the first tier, we have Healing Trance. Commit a force die. For every full encounter the force die remains committed, heal 1 wound per rank of Healing Trance. We have a rank of Toughened, so we gain +2 wound threshold. And we also have Confidence. May decrease difficulty of discipline checks to avoid fear by 1 per rank of Confidence. And we have Resolve. When involuntarily suffering strain, suffer 1 less strain per rank of Resolve to a minimum of 1. For the second tier, we have another rank of Confidence and another rank of Healing Trance. We also have Secret Lore. Remove a setback die per rank of Secret Lore from all Knowledge Lore checks. Reduce the difficulty of all Knowledge Lore checks by 1. We also have Channel Agony, which is a dark side power, meaning you automatically gain 1 conflict per session just for having this. After rolling 1 force die, may suffer wounds up to twice ranks in Channel Agony to add automatic dark side pips for every 2 wounds suffered to the result. In the third tier, we have another rank of Secret Lore and another rank of Resolve, but we also add Improved Healing Trance. When healing wounds due to Healing Trance, make a resilience check to heal a critical injury. Difficulty of the check equals severity of the critical injury. We also have Knowledge is Power. Once per session, when making a check, count force rating as being equal to ranks in Knowledge Lore. In the fourth tier, we have another rank of Toughened and 2 additional ranks of Channel Agony. But we also have Mind over Matter. The character may spend 1 destiny point to recover strain equal to willpower rating. In the final tier, we have a rank of Force Rating, a rank of Dedication, and a rank of Transmogrify. But we also add Power of Darkness, which is another dark side power. Once per session, may perform the Power of Darkness maneuver. Increase wound threshold and strain threshold by 1 per dark side destiny point currently in the destiny pool until the end of the encounter. The Prophet's additional career skills include Charm, Coercion, Deception, and Leadership. For the first tier, we have a rank of Grit, but we also have Overwhelming Aura. Commit a force die. Add advantage to social checks equal to force dice committed. Add threat equal to force dice committed to enemy social checks in short range. We have Rapid Recovery. When healing strain after an encounter, heal 1 additional strain per rank of Rapid Recovery. And then we have Congenial. May suffer a number of strain to downgrade difficulty of Charm or Negotiation checks, or upgrade difficulty when targeted by Charm or Negotiation checks by an equal number. Strain suffered this way cannot exceed ranks in Congenial. In the second tier, we have another rank of Rapid Recovery, but we also add Inspiring Rhetoric. Take the Inspiring Rhetoric action. Make an average leadership check. Each success causes 1 ally in close range to recover 1 strain. Spend advantages to cause 1 affected ally to recover 1 additional strain. We have Plausible Deniability. Remove a setback die per rank of Plausible Deniability from all Coercion and Deception checks. And we have Scathing Tirade. Take a Scathing Tirade action. Make an average Coercion check. Each success causes one enemy in short range to suffer 1 strain. Spend advantages to cause one affected enemy to suffer 1 additional strain. In the third tier, we have another rank of Rapid Recovery, another rank of Overwhelming Aura, and another rank of Grit. But we also add Twisted Words. When targeted by a social check, may spend Despair or 2 Threat and suffer 1 strain as an incidental to inflict strain equal to ranks in Coercion on speaker. In the fourth tier, we have another rank of Grit, another rank of Congenial, but we're also adding Fearsome. When an adversary becomes engaged with the character may force the adversary to make a fear check with the difficulty equal to the character's ranks in Fearsome. We also have Improved Inspiring Rhetoric. Each ally affected by Inspiring Rhetoric gains a boost die on all skill checks for a number of rounds equal to ranks in Leadership. In the final tier, we have a Force rating increase and a rank of Dedication, but we also add Font of Power. Once per session, may take the Font of Power action. Until the end of the encounter, characters within medium range add automatic light or dark side pips to checks based on alignment. We also have Improved Overwhelming Aura, which is a dark side power. Characters affected by Overwhelming Aura add automatic failures to fear checks the character causes and automatic successes to fear checks not caused by the character. Mystics also have a new motivation category, Mysteries. This will include things like death, the Force, destiny and fate, happiness, balance, suffering, the Jedi, other Force traditions, the dark side of the Force, and life. Mystics also have 2 signature abilities, Prophecy and Unmatched Destiny. Signature abilities are powerful, usually once per session abilities. These are attached to the bottom of a specialization that matches the career for that ability. There are also upgrades that you can purchase, just like with Force powers. Prophecy's base ability says that once per game session, the character may spend 1 destiny point and make a hard vigilance check to utter a prophecy. If they succeed, they foretell a single event, the focus of which is centered around themselves. At any time before the end of the game session, they may spend 1 destiny point, at which point the foretold event transpires. The GM should interpret the prophecy to fit the scene, possibly revealing truths the character did not foresee in the process. Unmatched Destiny's base ability says once per game session, after making a Force power check, the character may spend 2 destiny points to reroll up to 2 Force dice. Conflict generated as part of this Force power check is doubled. In addition, we actually have 2 new Force powers, Conjure and Alter. Conjure's basic power says the Force user calls forth a spectral object to their hand, which lasts for a short time. The user may spend Force pips to create a facsimile of a brawl or melee weapon anywhere within engaged range. At the time of the user's next turn, this item dissipates. At the GM's discretion, the user can instead conjure a simple tool and other useful low-tech item with an encumbrance no greater than 1. Alter's basic power says the Force user can tap into the living force of their surroundings, manipulating the nearby environs. The Force user may spend Force pips to make all terrain currently within short range difficult terrain until the end of the next turn, or they can do the same thing but make it normal terrain. Dangerous Crafts is the chapter for new gear and vehicles. For ranged weapons, we're going to have things like the AB-75 bow rifle, the Heartwood blaster, and the Lucky blaster. We also have the arquebus, the panic pistol, the blue shadow grenade, molten magnet, and the quill bomb. For melee weapons, we have the Ashla staff, the Oro blade, and the Semblan obsidian dagger. For new armor, we have things like the Sith Pain harness, the timber cuirass, and the water weave. For new gear and equipment, we have things like the Dai Bendu holocron, the Lasan Chronicles of the Three, the Ashes of Malachor, Calming Salve, Stim Calf powder, the Thespiasian puzzle ring, vision cubes, and the Verk meditation orb. For new vehicles, we have things like the T-13 Airspeeder, the Brickian Industries Hauler Air Skiff, the 9400 Grand Wanderer, XP-40 Luxury Coach, the Aqua Speeder, the Gungan Bongo Submarine, the Tage Dust Crawler, the H-Type Nubian Yacht, the Ithorian Herd Ship, the Jedi Sojourner, the Mandalorian Protectorate Fang Starfighter, the Punwarka 116 class interstellar sloop, and the Sheathipede class transport shuttle. Guided by the Force is the chapter that focuses on tools for the GM, advice, adventure seeds, and new rules. The first section involves how to integrate mystics into a campaign. If you have a character playing as this specific class, it might be worth reading, as well as the next section on designing encounters that feature the mystic. The big rule addition is alchemy crafting. Like with all crafting in the Star Wars role-playing game line, it involves the player selecting a template, acquiring materials, and rolling some dice to make the alchemical concoction. Each potion template has a material price, a difficulty check for knowledge lore, and a time frame for constructing it. We do have things like the Potion of Wills, which when ingested will convert your willpower to 0 for the remainder of the encounter. That's kind of really debilitating. We also have things like the Water of Life, which basically allows a person who died during an encounter to come back to life, sorta. We also have talismans, which are built the same way. So you choose a template and you acquire the material and then you roll to see if you have any additional effects. And we'll have things like the Amulet of Power, so it allows anybody who wears it to roll 1 additional force die as part of a force power check, which is actually pretty sweet. And we'll have things like the Healing Accelerant. So when the talisman is active, whenever the user would recover strain or wounds, the user recovers that amount plus 1 instead. So pretty interesting things that really adds some variety, I guess, to the Star Wars universe. I guess this would kind of basically be like your magic items for the line. Something unique that isn't talked a whole lot about in the Force and Destiny line of books is how to play as a dark side character. It could certainly be something worth exploring if you're tired of playing the goody two-shoes. It's also worth reading through in case you have a player character who has fallen to the dark side. This is really just an advice section. The only mechanical shift is how the force dice work. You'd use dark side pips. If a dark side user uses a light side pip, then they suffer the penalties as if they were good and using dark side pips. That sort of thing. This one kind of falls mid-tier for me. Yes, we do get new crafting rules for alchemy, but alchemy is kind of pretty niche in a sense. It can be pretty useful if you're playing as a dark side force user, I guess, or if you're just playing a weird character, like supernaturally weird in that sense. If you are planning on playing somebody supernaturally weird or a dark side user, then you might want to pick this book up. There's actually lots of options for dark side users and the advice is actually pretty cool for GMs to use. That's gonna do it for this review. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Give this video a huge thumbs up to support the series, and I will see you guys in the next video.